Hello traders. The title of the video is a correlation between greed, fear, and volatility. Greed, fear, and volatility. All right. So we are recording this video today because ATSTWSYS008 trader and he asked me to discuss this topic about greed, fear, and volatility. All right. I would like to encourage traders to watch the full length for this tutorial so they may understand more. All right. So as I said before, it's completely stupid. All right, to disregard the experience of a person. So somebody has done something before you, even if the person, all right, is not very bright. The person can tell you two or three things that can help you. But what I've noticed that sometimes people will discount the experience. The experience always counts because just knowing how it's like to be there, is somebody going to interview, all right, the person being there first, even if the person failed the interview, all right, he went for the interview in the same company, all right, he been there, they interview him maybe for 1 hour, but he failed the interview, didn't get a job, all right. So you may say, oh, he didn't get a job, he's useless. But he got an experience about that interview. And he will be very useful to you, telling you what kind of question they were asking him and what kind of answer he was giving, how was the atmosphere. And with that experience, if he is sharing that experience with you, that's a valuable experience. So the same thing I'm going to do today in this tutorial, all right? Sometime, because the reason why I'm saying this at the starting of this tutorial is because when I was a new trader, I was doing the same thing. I was disregarding the experience of the experienced traders. I, I was not watching some video at all right? Video about the risk management, risk control, hedging. I don't watch those videos at all. And whenever they start talking about it, I just switch off completely and go away. All right? But over the year, I realized that when they were talking about moving your stop loss, being defensive, I said, well, if you are wrong, you are wrong. Why do you need to be defensive? But that was completely stupid because I was discounting those experiences, all right? So stay with us, please, all right? So I can share a few things with you, all right? Correlation between a greed of fear and volatility. All right? Which one comes first? Is it the volatility coming first, or is it the fear, or is it greed? That's a question, right? Is it greed coming first? Is it the volatility coming first and making people to be greedy? Or, or is it because people are afraid that they create the volatility? Is the fear that is creating the volatility? Or is the fear that is making people to be greedy? Which one is coming first? The chicken or the egg? All right, this is it. Let's go by this, all right? So when somebody is coming to the financial market, so the financial market is here, all right? So one day somebody from his house, from his office, decided to put money into the financial market. So what was the intention of that person? All right? The intention was to make money, yes or no? All right? It may not be greed at the starting. It can just be a small greed that is not yet fully funded. All right? Or it can be a reasonable greed. If I can make $5,000, or then if I can make $10,000, if I can push it to $100,000, if I can make $1 million, well, how about dominating this sector completely and call it mine or something like that? So it may not be we cannot call it greed at a starting point. It may be just a reasonable desire to get some interest, okay, on your money. Or maybe you were buying bond before and you hold it there for many years, and then you notice that, all right, it's only 2% or 3% that you get, all right, and you didn't like it. So you say in the stock market, probably I can double my money or I can triple it. Or you have heard some story, people tell you that, oh, I make hundreds of thousands of dollars in the financial market, and they didn't mention anything about the risk or the danger of losing everything. They just said to you it was good, and you thought that you can do the same thing. So, at the starting point, talking about greed, fear, and volatility, the greed will start everything, whether you call it greed at that point or not. So, suppose you are here. I want to do a little bit of demonstration here. I hope you will like it, all right? By the way, if you are new to us, subscribe to our channel today, George Trio, and be sure to click on the notification bell so anytime we record a new video, you will be the first person to be notified. So, suppose there are people here that were a little bit greedy. So, let's say they are greedy. They are buying stock or they are buying commodity. They're in the financial market, buying a financial asset, okay? So, they are greedy, whether they are fully greedy or just a little bit greedy. All right? They want to make money, a little bit of greed, all right? So they are greedy. So now the price start going up. So they buy, they all buy, everybody buy because they believe that the price will go up or they believe that the price will go down. They want to sell or they want to buy. Okay? So if everything is working well, will they be afraid? No, they won't be afraid at all. All right? They'll be buying more, 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 more. This was happened very often during the trending phase, especially during the third ideal wave of a trend. When you will see very often retail traders, for instance, they may buy stock, all right, during the third wave without knowing that it's a third wave, without knowing that the sector was bullish, without knowing that the market sentiment was very bullish that time. So they buy during the third wave, all right, which is the best time to buy, okay? So they buy, price went up. So the next day they wake up in the morning, they see that, wow, this thing went up big time. So they decided to buy again. Right? They didn't think of pulling back. They didn't think of okay correction. They pull back before they buy. They just buy again the next day. Because we are in a third wave, the price continues to go up more. Or it went down the next day a little bit or 2 days, but by the end of the week, it's again up. So the next week he bought it again, and he told his friend that look, I bought it last time, and it went up. The next day I bought it again. It only went down for 2 days, but by the end of the week it went up again. So next week people buy it again, and they keep buying and buying, buying. Everything worked well, but they forget that the market was in the third wave, the strongest part of the trend, and everything looks good. All right. So now, as I ask you, if everything was working well, no one is afraid at all. People want to buy more, and that's when that little greed will start growing. So the greed start growing, whether you call it greed at the starting point, that desire to make more money or more and more, more and more and more money, a little bit more, why not? A little bit more, more, extra more, all right? So you have more money, you want to invest more. So you are putting more into the basket because originally it was good. So now you go and sell your house, you empty your saving account, you say, all right, now I need to retire next year. And you put everything in that. But one thing that you do not realize is that that small grain, whatever you call it, was irreasonable, it's now expanding. All right, it's becoming very, very big. All right, it's like somebody on a motorway. All right, start with 50 miles per hour, now go to 60 miles per hour, put some music on, and go to 70 miles per hour. You see the speed limit on the side of the road saying 70 miles per hour. Be aware of the bend. No, he didn't care. Keep pushing it up, pushing it up, pushing it up, pushing it up, pushing it up. The same thing is the grade, all right? It's like a speed, all right? And when you are speeding, people enjoy it. They enjoy it. They feel it. They say, wow, this car, oh, I can't believe it. How look at that. And you get used to it. You get addicted to it. The same thing happened with the grades. Now, as we recorded a video recently about how a rational trader make decisions on an irrational market. So when the greed is increasing, one start making irrational decisions. This is it. One start forgetting that the market has principle, that the market does not go up forever, that the price is always going from one key level to the next key level, that the price is always headed to a target level. So people start behaving irrationally because of the greed. The greed start making them blind. The desire to make more money, more cash, more freak, all right? Which other name should we give it to money, all right? That is making them blind to the point where they start behaving irrationally, all right? They became irrationally. Euphoria is a kind of irrational behavior. When people feeling that they are invincible, so this market, we can beat this market, and then they start talking about creating a hedge fund, all right? And they call everybody to put money together, and only to waste the money of their clients, all right? Because they becoming irrational, drunk. So very often when you see that, you see people will start talking about it on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, all right? And they will show you the account. This is it. They will show you the account, the amount of money they have made. All right. You know every proof they will see it. You see clearly that they made those money, and they will sell the method that they were using before, and everybody following them, everybody buying. So that small greed is now growing to the point where no one can control it anymore. All right. And then the prime move to the fifth wave, which is the last segment of the trend, and people still buy. But because they are not alone in the market, there are market participants that are rational. So remember that video, the rational trader making decisions in the irrational market. But what is happening, because those people think that they are alone in the market, they even forget that there are other market participants in the market that are making decisions. So they think that everybody should behave like the way they are, and in fact, they are dominating the market, which is wrong. It's another irrational belief, all right? Okay? So now, as the market reaches, the market does not go up forever, the market has its principle, or maybe the market is overbought, and if the market is overbought for too long, there will be a correction. But these people don't care, okay? Because of the greed. But it wasn't a greed from the beginning. It was a desire, just a simple, normal desire to make more money. That's it, which is normal. But because we are winning, the same thing happens even if you are day trading, swing trading. You take the first trade, good. Second trade, good. Third trade, good. Now, you see more money going to your trading account. What's happening? If you are not careful, if you don't set a target for yourself for the day, you say, today, my desire is to take 100 pips out of this market. And once I get my 100 pips, if I want to give back, I won't give back more than 20 pips. So you have a plan that if I get 100 pips and I want to play beyond the 100 pips, if I give back 20 pips, I must go away. If you don't have that plan, sometimes it happens when you are day trading, when you have a winning trade at the starting point, and you get into this euphoria of greed again. And then at the end, you give everything back. And when you review all those trades, you realize that you were irrational. You may be wondering, you get upset with yourself, and you start wondering, why did I even bother to enter that trade? Why did I take all those stupid trades? That's why you'll be thinking, yes or no. All right? So now, because of those traders, those are people that were a little bit greedy, didn't pay attention to other rational market participants that were saying, the market is becoming a little bit overbought now. We need to start securing now again. We need to take a little bit of profit now. We need to put defensive measures in place. They forget about everybody. And now the market starts coming down. The trend has ended, and the rational market participants start making decisions. What's going to happen? But the people that were creating the pyramid, okay, it's a pyramid, all right, because they start making money, they call everybody into it. And those who join the pyramid at the top, now they bought it, or maybe they sold their houses, or they empty their saving account because they see the other person making money, calling them also that they're going to make money. And market start turning around. What we are discussing today is very important. And we see that for the Bitcoin traders, when everybody was buying Bitcoin, 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 and the motorway has ended, and the Bitcoin start pulling back. And those who bought it at very top of the price of Bitcoin, they lost money because of the greed. All right. So when a market principle start taking over, when the rational market participants start taking control of the market, it creates a fear in the mind of those that were very, very greedy. Now, the word I'm using here, greedy, uh, it means that they are irrational. All right? It's no somebody can be rationally greedy, which means he is greedy, but he understands what's going on. All right, so he can pull out when he or she knows when to pull out. So when we are talking about greed here, we are talking about the irrational greed. When one is greedy to the point when one does not know when to stop or when to pause. So can you imagine a car going on the street without a brake? This is what's going on. So people are greedy to the point where they have no more brake. They can't pause, they can't stop. In fact, they don't know where the price is headed. It's crazy. It's crazy not to know where the price is headed. You want to know, you want to know, you want to know, you want to know. You want to know even before you place the trade. So the greed, when the greed is overbought, when the greed reach its peaks, all right, it creates fear. Why create fear? Because the expectations are no more fulfilled. So people were buying before, now the price is changing, is going down. They keep buying because they think that before, during the third in your way or the first in your way, when it pulled back 2 days, the third it goes back again. Or when it went down 2 days during the week, usually the week we end bullish. But that strategy is not working anymore. But those who bought it at the top, they want to, they are doubling it down now. They are putting more money into it, hoping that somebody is telling them. So now the irrational behavior, okay, they are adding to that irrational behavior, irrational hope, all right? So they became irrational by being too greedy. Now they are now adding more irrational hope to it. It's a hopeless attitude. So they buy, they put money into it, they lose, but they encourage themselves, they say, buy more. It's going to go back up. All right. They buy again, they lose. They say, buy more. It will come back. You just need to buy and hold and stay put. Don't sell it. And they keep losing it. So somebody put $10,000. Now they look at their portfolio, maybe become $100. They say, buy more. No, you shouldn't buy more. You should stop buying completely. It's a madness. But now you see now. So the first one that is coming in those three, talking about greed, fear, and volatility, is the greed. And the greed is followed by what? The fear. And the fear is that people now realize that because they are irrational and now they add irrational hope to it, now to the point where it's now clear to them that they were never going to get anything out of it. So they are now afraid that they lost big time. Okay? So the greed will create fear when it's not controlled, when the greed becomes too irrational, and when one is adding irrational hope to the greed, all right, which is crazy, in fact, all right, which is crazy. So now the fear, the greed, it create fear. Now both greed and fear will create the volatility. How does it happen? Well, here it is. So you are in a state of fear. This is what the market does not like. The market does not like fear. So people, everybody is now becoming afraid. All right. So maybe because the market is full of irrational people at the top of the market usually is full of irrational people. All right. This is what usually happens. That's why you'll see most of the time when the market pull back, people will criticize it. Well, because they don't understand the market principle. But for somebody that is rational, they know that the market does not go up forever. You go up, you go down. Sometimes it will oscillate. Sometimes it stay in a rising channel. Sometimes it will be in a declining channel. They know that. So for somebody that is irrational or sophisticated market participant, all right, a bearish market is normal. But for somebody that is irrational, they say that the market should go up forever. It's irrational. It's madness. It's crazy. That person, in fact, is dangerous for the financial market to think that the market should go up forever. Okay. Now, maybe am I talking too much? Oh, so now, so how the volatility happens? All right, here it is. The volatility will happen. So everybody, so at one point people say, okay, so people are more first afraid, and then they cool down a bit. So they, when they are afraid, they don't want to buy anymore. They hold. Okay, they sit down, they watch it, they say, what should we do now? What's the next move? They are afraid. They can't make decisions. So to be afraid is like to be frozen. All right? It's like you become like a statue of salt. All right? You can't make decisions. You are frozen. All right? That's this. That's the real representation of being afraid. If you're afraid, you can't make decisions at that at that point. All right? So they are frozen. So they are not making decisions. And then when the fear is diminishing a bit, when they cool down, they're going to buy, yes or no? So they give, that's where they have those false hope or those irrational hope, right, that are not based on the market principle at all. So they buy, so they buy. So here it is, they buy. Why? Because of the greed that was in place, the greed that created the fear. Now the fear, so the greed is high, didn't change. The greed is still there, it's very high. The only thing added to it is now fear. So it becoming a little bit volatile now. So greed plus fear will create the volatility. So when they fear, when people are greedy, so they are greedy, when they are greedy, and also afraid, but when they fear is a little bit low, but they are still greedy, all right, they will create a volatility. So when they cool down a bit, though they are still greedy, they buy. So price went up. So price went up. They remember that as it went up last time, it quickly came down. Now they are afraid. So remember, the only reason why they buy here is because they were greedy, very, very greedy, irrationally greedy, and also because they cooled down a bit. The fear oil was a bit low. Now they bought it, the price went up. Okay, they are still greedy. That did not change. Now, as the price went up, the fear also went up. So where are we again? We have again greed and fear together. You create volatility again. So everybody say, oh, last time it went up only for 2 days and then came down. So what's going to happen? Everybody drop it down. So out of the blue, the price crashed down again. Why the price came down? Because people were afraid. They were greedy and they were afraid. So everybody showed it. Pop! I crashed down. All right. So price is now here. The price now here. Okay. What should change? The fear will keep changing. So as long, so we can say that the fear is the real engine of the volatility. All right. Though the greed will come first, the fear that is propelling the volatility, okay, is the fear. So now if the fear goes down again here, as the price here, they cool down again, the greed did not change, that remains stable. All right, the only thing that is changing, that's why we are having a volatility when the greed is intact, but the fear is oscillating, we have volatility. This is it. So now they cool down again, they buy. Okay, why they buy? Because the fear went down. They're still greedy. Nothing has changed. They are not rationally greedy. So that's why in the film of Michael Douglas, they say greed is good. But what they meant that rational greed is good. Irrational greed is very, very, very bad. All right? Very, very bad. That's why if you see some people that are saying to others to buy when the market is in the fifth wave, Those are irrational people. Those are irrational people. They are crazy. Or when you see people saying people should buy forever, those are irrational people. So an investor, right, who knows that the market is overbought, who still want to play the market, should not become a trader. So it's a trading opportunity, not investment opportunity. There is a difference between investment and trading. So now the fear was low and they bought it again. So price here, what do you think? They'll be afraid again because they remember what has happened here. What do they do again? Everybody dump it, come back down. What need to change? The fear need to change. When the fear is low, the greed did not change. They will buy. And then when they bought it, the same thing again. They all dump it again. And then the cycle keep going on. So the motor or the engine of the volatility is fear. That's why trader will talk about the VIX, all right, the indicator of the fear, and they will say that when the volatility is high, okay, trader pay attention to the volatility in the market. They say when the volatility is high, the market, okay, is likely to be bearish. But sometimes it doesn't work. Why? That's a very good question. Why sometimes the volatility is high or stay high for some time? It's because it's a rational market. The market was not overbought during the third wave that we see. See high volatility, blah, 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 blah. The price keep going up because it's a rational market. Nothing has changed. It's a rational grid. When you have a rational grid, all right, in place, all right, and people are even a little bit afraid, all right, it doesn't create volatility very much. All right, it creates, in fact, momentum. All right, that's what the professional like. When we are talking about they say day traders like momentum, they like the volatility. And the volatility that they are talking about, all right, is the rational volatility. But in fact, when they are talking about that volatility, they are thinking of momentum, price running fast in one direction. Pew, 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 pew. But the volatility that we associate with fear is the dangerous volatility. So 1 minute we are here, the next minute before you blink, we are here again. And the next minute we are somewhere up there, and the next minute we are down, roller coasting like a crazy. All right, this is what's going on in the financial. So people talking about the VIX and the volatility, they say when the volatility is high, one should share the market will become bearish. And sometimes people play, it doesn't work. Why? Because there's no reason in that rational time, rational market, rational greed, all right, that the VIX is high, the volatility is high, but the price going up because the fifth wave is extended, or the first wave is extended, the third wave is extended, the fundamentals are solid, all right. There is a room or there is a better resistance ahead. The price did not reach the target yet. The price is going to a target. Yes, the volatility, the VIX is high, but the price did not reach the target yet. And the market environment is still viable. They push it, push it, push it, and the price get there. All right? But the time when the volatility, when we associate it with the fear, is when we have irrational greed, all right, irrational greed, plus false hope or irrational hope, all right, that is creating fear. Now, when the fear start going up and down, that's when you see the volatility coming in, and it is really, really irrational. And this is what's going on all the time in the financial market. Okay, the market will be rational, but because this is what we say to traders, in your way traders, all right, the smart money is the first buyer. So they create a trend. So whenever you go to any chart, all right, you see a trend in place. There are market participants who create the trend. It's good to know who are the major players of that financial instrument. All right, they are controlling. They know they have money there. That's why he's holding it there. If they start coming out, you see this here, all right, this is New Zealand. Some people bought it from here to here. Those people, when they start coming, the major player of that trend, if they start coming out, the trend will crash. That's why, okay, if you are somebody buying penny stocks, do you buy penny stock and hold them? Sometimes you dig into it, you see one institutional investor holding maybe 70% of the share or more. So when that major player, major investor starts selling, the stock will come back down. It becomes volatile. So as long as that person that is holding the major part of the share still in place or adding a little bit to it, people will be doing all kind of things. It may just go a little bit down, blah, 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 but it's not going to go far. But when a major player start coming out, that's when, okay, you see a reversion. They don't believe in the trend anymore. But they fear or the volatility. To understand it more, one should link it to the irrational behavior. The extremists in the financial market, there are extremists in the financial market, people that think that the market should go up forever. That in fact they should arrest those that are selling, that the short sellers are evil. Why? I want to ask you a question, all right? Why short sellers manage to sell stocks for a long time? No, they don't just sell stock, they don't just sell them because they hate the company or they hate the director. They don't because they will lose. They will lose. That would be irrational. So if somebody is selling, this is what we are saying. I discussed this before when we are talking about how can a rational trader make a decision in an irrational market. So one of the things we see is that when people are irrational, they will be willing to pay any price for useless financial instrument. So a stock that is $100, they are willing to pay 300 or 500 or $1,000 for it, which is crazy, in fact, all right? But what you will notice is that those who are short sellers are smart as market participants because they will know that this company is under pressure before they will sell. So they are not behaving irrationally. In fact, they are behaving rationally. The stock is overbought and people keep buying it. It's crazy. Or the business is about to go down, but people keep buying it because somebody is pumping it somewhere, which is wrong for the market. In fact, those people are doing good for the market, talking about long term. But people hate them because they don't understand the market principle. I'm not here to promote short selling, all right? The market will go up more than it's going down. So 70% of the time, the market is going up. The correction is happening. There was a shallow correction during the second and the fourth wave. And then we have the bigger correction. The bigger correction, that's what everybody's talking about. And they say they hate the bearish sellers. But the bearish sellers are not creating, all right, the bigger correction, the bearish trend, the short sellers are not responsible for it. It's the whole market. It's a harvest time. That's it. So without going too far away from the topic, correlation between greed, fear, and volatility, greed will come first. And when a greed comes to a point when a greed becomes irrational, okay, adding more hopeless, useless hope to it, or irrational hope to that irrational greed, that will generate fear. All right, and fear that is going up and down, okay, will create volatility in the financial markets. All right, so the greed will create fear, and the fear will start when the fear is going up and down. That's it. Because if the fear is not going ups and down, it won't create volatility. People will sell, create a sharp correction in one day. Boom, down. Everybody sold it down. And then the price, like here, you see here, down. And then it bounces up. And sometimes it go boom, 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 boom. And then it go back up again. But when the fear is going up and down, that's when the volatility will start kicking in. But you want to make sure that that fear is irrational. All right? That We are in an irrational, okay, behavior. We are doing something that is irrational. Our greed is irrational. The hope is irrational. You see, now we are adding fear to it. It's not a nice recipe, and then it start going ups and down. So, technically speaking, trader will say to you that I do not use the VIX, all right? So, trader use the VIX, VIS. They say when the VIX is low, the market is likely to go back up. This is true in theory, but one should check, okay, whether the market is rational or irrational, and most importantly, work with market principles. That's it. All right. So when the VIX is high, people will be saying to you that the market has a high start to go down. It's a belief. So now we are doing the opposite. All right. We are doing the opposite. The same thing we are doing with the price. So price going up. Okay. We are buying like a crazy, doing all kind of irrational behavior. We are doing the same thing with the VIX indicator. So what's happening now? So people, it's a belief. The same thing. So people believe that they're going to make money. They want to make more money. That they have more. So they believe they're going to make money. All right, that's the belief. So now that belief is creating a greed. So it was a reasonable greed that will turn into irrational greed. So again, the same thing people are doing with the VIX indicator or the volatility indicator in the financial market. So when the VIX is low, what do they believe? They believe that the market will go up. Yes or no? It's a reasonable belief. Now they have a reasonable greed to buy because why? The VIX is low. All right? Everything was reasonable at the start. So people start buying because of the VIX. All right? Belief will create greed. And greed will become irrational. Irrational greed will create fear. Fear will create volatility. So now we're doing the same thing with the VIX itself. So greed VIX goes up, reach the maximum level. What do we think? We say the market will go down. What's the belief? We believe that the market will go down. Well, it won't create a greed to buy, you create a greed to sell, yes or no. If you are short sellers, you want to sell a whole. But it will create fear. We start getting afraid. So when the VIX is high, people are, it's not that they are afraid at that point, but by looking at the VIX indicator, they are afraid that last time the VIX was here, people showed it down. So as soon as the VIX hit that level, it's self, okay, people believe that they should sell. They become afraid. So they look at VIX. The next day they say, oh, VIX is too high. We must cut our position down. So imagine many market participants believing the same thing, a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? So now, here it comes. Start coming down. We're creating ourselves, all right? And VIX come down, people say. And the VIX itself can become volatile also. If we add more fear to the way we are interpreting or using the VIX itself, 1 minute is up, another minute is down. So which one are you going to believe? All right. So you get into all kind of irrational discussion, and I don't want to get into those irrational discussion because they are just a waste of time. So I hope I have managed to answer your question. It was an excellent question. All right. So when the VIX is high, theoretically speaking, people will say the market is bearish. They are looking for excuse to sell. Do not ignore it. Do not ignore other market participants. When the VIX is high, they are thinking to sell. They want to sell. So what you can do at that point in time, you can concentrate on your bearish watch list. Not because you are bearish, but you don't want to challenge them as such. It doesn't mean that you just go around selling, but you want to look for good candidate that you can sell, that other people will be willing to sell. But it doesn't mean that the market definitely will be bearish because the VIX is high. You want to verify, like a rational market participant, pay attention to the market principle so you can make a rational decision. So a market trader, a market participant that is rational will always pay attention to the market pattern and the market principle and will work with the truth and only the truth, nothing but the truth that are governing the financial market. The price is always headed to a specific target level. All right? And irrational fear, irrational greed will create, fear, and the fear will go back, will create the volatility. If the fear is going ups and down, the volatility will become very, very strong. Sometimes you hear market participants talking about volatility, but in fact, they are not talking about volatility as such, but they are talking about the momentum. When the market is running fast, all right, and people think that it's a volatility, but it's not a volatility as such. And they will tell you that day traders love volatility, but those are rational volatility, not fear, irrational fear that has created that volatility. All right. So one group is believing that it's going out, another group is selling. All right, as it goes down, the next day went down. Like here it goes down. People say, "Oh, the market went down 400 pips," but people are afraid. They say, "Oh, you have to sell." The next day it went back up, and then people say, "Oh, the market is going back up," and then it pulled back again. But people don't understand it's a normal price progression, or it can be an extension, reasonable extension, but people are calling it volatility, but it's not volatility at all. So they say, oh, last week the market went up, but this week it went down. So what? Or last month the market went up, and this market went down. But all the market did, sometimes you'll see that, or especially on the monthly chart. So people will be on television and say, oh, last month it was bullish, and then and what's happening this month? But all the price did is just it breaks above a key level last month, and now it retests it. That's it. And it's going to go up the following month. But because people don't understand the market principle, they say, oh, it's volatile. Oh, last month the Dow Jones went up 1,000 pips. Now this month it went down 1,000 pip again. Where are we going? It breaks above a key level. You retest it exactly the same level. Now it's going to go back up. You see? So I think I said enough about the correlation between greed, fear, and volatility. Okay, it was a long form tutorial because I want to tell you everything that I need to know to tell you about, this topic. Excellent topic, by the way. Excellent question. If you have more excellent questions, do not hesitate to contact me on my Gmail. And in due course, I'll be back again, okay, yabbering, okay, in my microphone, okay. If you have any question or suggestion, please put in the comment section. And of course, I will be recording another tutorial to answer your specific question. If this video has been truly useful to you, please let us know by giving us the thumbs up. If you dislike it, be sure to mark it down. If you think it's an essential tutorial, feel free to share with your friend on the social media. I really appreciate it when traders share our tutorial. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is George Trio. Be sure to click on the notification bell so anytime we record a new video, you will be the first person to be notified. Okay? Until the next time, enjoy yourself and be very happy. We are the TSTW24 traders talking about the correlation between greed, fear, and volatility. The question is, which one is coming first? Is it the volatility that is creating fear and the fear is creating greed? Is it the greed creating the volatility and the volatility creating fear? Throughout this video, I demonstrated to traders that the greed is the beginning of all, but the belief will create the greed. One believes that the price will go up, then one is reasonably greedy to buy. Greed is good if greed is reasonable. All right. Until the next time, enjoy yourself and be very happy. Happy trading to you